Let's see, sound seems to be working, camera seems to be working. So we are off to a good start on day 319 of our morning routine, and we are well into November. How are you doing, my friends? I hope you're doing all right, and I hope that life has been treating you well. It is 5:15 a.m. and we are about to get started with the morning routine. Let's see. I think everything is working. Yeah, there we go. There I am. All right. And we went live. Good morning, friends. It is 5:16 a.m. and thanks for dropping by and saying hi on the stream and on the chat. I hope you're doing well where you are in the world. I know I am. It is early morning and I'm getting ready for my morning routine. It is also day 319 of this year, and it is more or less a year ago that I actually started to work out with kettlebells. And here we are today, yesterday lifting the 16 and the 20 nearly exclusively for the workout. So that was what I would call progress, I guess. Now we're going to keep moving on. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Toby. I am 40 years old and I train to live an active, self-sufficient and adventurous life. I do it by working on my sleep, working on my nutrition, working on my strength training, conditioning training and mobility. So the full package to feel fit and competent for life. And I should add to that I am actually having a blast doing this here on the channel with you every morning. The morning routine is between 30 and 45 minutes usually, and it's always nice when people drop by, and when they drop by in the chat that they say hi. Today is a mobility day. We're going to do different things, different exercises with kettlebell, and we're going to work on core strength and core stability, and I'm looking forward to that as well. If you're interested in my talks and chats on health and fitness, go ahead and take a look at my channel if you find it interesting. Please subscribe and we can continue this conversation in other videos. I always say that this is about the way I feel, not about the way I look. I think general health and fitness, functional strength, functional movement, being able to move through life, not only now but in the future, is my larger aim. And I can also tell you why I think that's important. First of all, I have children that I want to keep up with, and when they play, they tend to play down on the floor. And being able to get down on the floor and getting back up off the floor easily is one of the reasons why I think that's important, and it's also one of the easiest and biggest blockers that we might experience in life. When we can't get down on the floor, get back up off the floor, we start to stop going down to play with our children or play on the floor at all as adults, which is something we should also do more. So that's one. The second thing is I like to go out and do things. I like to go for hikes and mounts. I like to go out into nature. I like to travel, and I would like to be able to do so comfortably and healthily so that I can enjoy everything that I'm seeing around in the world. And around me, there's also things that need to be done. I need to carry stuff home from the market or the supermarket. Things need to be fixed around the house, and I've just noticed, and you will notice when you hit that 35-year mark and maybe even that 40-year mark after, as little things start to become more difficult. A year ago, I would have been hard-pressed to do this properly, especially with a 16 or 20 kilo weight in hand, because I hadn't actually used my overhead mobility for years because I was having some aches and pains in my shoulders. And guess what? By starting to use them again, starting to move in that direction again, and also with some regular visits to a physiotherapist, actually the range of motion became better and came back again. So the overall idea of being fit and healthy into our 40s comes down to being smart, being strategic, using the information we have to inform our strategy, and then just showing up every day and doing the work. And any fitness goal can be a valid goal, by the way, if that is something that you're thinking about. You want to gain weight, you want to maintain the same weight, you want to lose weight, I've done all three. I am now at a stage where I want to just maintain my current weight. I want to be the way I am for a very long time, if possible. If you want to look a certain way, if you have aesthetic goals, that's completely fine. That's also a valid fitness goal at different stages in life, different interests in life. If you want to be strong or be as strong as you possibly can be, or build endurance and compete in endurance events, or if you're just interested in general functional strength and health and fitness, or if you have very specific medical needs, or have noticed as you grow older that you want to build some muscle to stay healthier for a longer period of time, all of those goals are completely valid. But one thing that we sometimes tend to forget is that we're good just the way we are today. And we've got to love ourselves before we can move on to anything new. The reason I say that is that sometimes people who are on a fitness journey are a bit cruel and hard to themselves, and there's no real reason for that. Because it's the person we are today who's going to get us to where we want to be tomorrow. So a bit of kindness, friends, will probably go a long way. And that being said, the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. So I'm going to turn on the timer, and we are going to get started with the morning routine. And when you drop by in the chat, feel free to drop by and just say hello, and we can have a chat and a conversation about all of the things that are going on in our lives and in health and fitness. This week, by the way, and I think that video is going to come out today or tomorrow, but we're working on making small changes to our routine, and by making small changes to our routine, trying to get to actually being fitter and healthier. Not only in the short run, but also actually building some consistent habits in the long run, right? Well, we're going to start with the breathing, of course. And the first challenge this week is to just add that one extra glass of water to your daily routine. First of all, generally, if you're not too mindful of your health and fitness, you want to have a little bit more water. Throughout the day, which is completely fine to want to do that. And to have that, if you're already drinking 2.5 liters of water a day, maybe it's not so necessary, but my guess is that if you are trying to get healthier and fitter in life, and this is something that you want to get good at, then probably not that mindful at the moment of how much we hydrate. At least I wasn't at the beginning of my journey. And I'd say adding that extra glass of water at some point during the day is going to help with so many things. But you're going to learn 2 things specifically when it comes to behavior changes by adding that glass of water to your routine. First of all, you're going to see how hard it is to even make one very small behavior change to your daily routine. Because a glass of water is not intrusive at all. It doesn't generally require you to do anything different, except go to the kitchen, take a glass of water from a cabinet, and fill it up, and then drink it. Something that you've done time and again for years throughout your life. You're not acquiring any new skills to do it. It's just doing something that you've already done 100,000 times before, but now you're going to do it purposefully. And with the intention of learning something. And you're not only going to learn how hard it is to add that new habit, but you're going to see how your environment, your daily structure, the demands, the commitments, the responsibilities you have, but also other habits that you have might work against you in trying to add this new habit to your routine to be consistent with it. Because we can all pick up a glass of water one day. Like as I'm talking now, maybe you are interested in going over to the kitchen, grabbing a glass of water and drinking it. But can you do it 319 days consecutively? Can you stay focused on that new habit over time? And I think that's the one that we are trying to get at, and that we are interested in, and that we are working towards, to finding a way to do that throughout life, because it's not about the glass of water, it's about what we're learning by adding the glass of water that is going to help us work on our overall health and fitness by adopting new habits and behaviors and routines for the rest of our lives. So start with a glass of water, and my glass of water is standing right over there. At the end of the stream today, I'm going to drink it and enjoy it. All right, I'm going to reach up and grab some apples. Let's pick some apples or pears or bananas or cherries from a tree. And as we're doing that, really feel that spine is nicely lengthening. And this is in lieu of actually being able to hang from a bar and get that nice hanging stretch. And now we're ready to move into the world's greatest stretch. So that's what we're working on this week, as an aside to showing up every day and doing the work. I think all through my life, I found one of the hardest things understanding how to actually adopt a new behavior and be consistent with it over a longer period of time, because the key to health and fitness, and I think anyone here watching or interested in health and fitness knows this already, is it's easy to start something new time and again, over and over again. Actually, we're quite good at that. We tend to start new things, start health and fitness relatively often and relatively frequently. And it's good because we as humans are interested in variety and novelty. Sometimes we seek it out. We don't want to be in a drag, so to speak, doing the same thing over and over again. But sadly, especially when it comes to the life we can live today, where we don't have to be that active in providing for ourselves generally, unless we have a job that puts a lot of physical demand on us. But someone like myself, who has a desk job where I sit behind a computer or in meeting rooms most of the day, it is very easy to let our health and fitness slip through our fingers because we're consistently doing other things. We're consistently eating, drinking, and not moving. And I think a couple of the insights I've had over time about health and fitness is that even just a base level, 30 minutes a day of some additional movement. I'm not talking about the kind of training that we're doing here. We're talking about walking up and down stairs, going for a walk around the block, walking back and forth to the supermarket, carrying 2 bags of shopping. Being consistent in that, maybe gardening a little bit, fixing up things around the house, doing something that requires a bit of lifting, a bit of bending, a bit of squatting, a bit of carrying, and a bit of moving around, more than we do, because let's face it, the heaviest things some of us carry around throughout the day is our laptop or a cup of coffee. It's going to go a long way, because moving frequently in varied manners often is just generally good for our health and fitness. So it's worth keeping that in mind and reminding ourselves of that over time. All right? So, our daily lives actually work against us consistently investing in our health and fitness, because everything's so convenient. And when everything is so convenient, it just becomes easy to think that we are healthy and fit, whereas we're actually not even beginning to tap in to our physical potential. And there's always something to be said in life about trying to feel fit and capable, because trying to rock back and forth, working on that hip mobility. Because if we go through life feeling fit and capable, we're actually going to try to do more things, but we're also going to stride through life and pick up challenges with a bit more confidence. We don't have to be overconfident, right? But we can just walk up to a challenge and think, I might be physically able to do this because I know what my body is capable of. And one of the limitations to enjoying life as we age is the fact that we experience a loss of freedom through a loss of mobility. And I can tell you from my experiences with my grandmother who passed away a long time ago now, she was up and active up until the day that she fell down a flight of stairs. And after that, she never quite recovered, this poor woman. And she suffered a lot through the end of her life because of that. And I think, barring any kind of accident or unforeseen circumstances, we have a lot of control for how mobile and active we can stay throughout our life if we're mindful and willing to invest a little bit of our day into it. It could be as little as 10 minutes a day. It could be as much as 2 hours a day. That's completely up to you and your life circumstances. But the principle of use it or lose it definitely applies to our life and how we live it. So just remember that. And if that's something you're interested in, you go ahead, take a look at my channel and subscribe. I'm here every day. We can talk about life and health and fitness and what it can bring us and what it means to us. And how we can and cannot work on it. And I'd be more than happy to be on that journey with you, friend. I think it's been a fun and interesting journey for me, and I've learned a lot, and it has given me a lot. We're going to work on our mobility here, and for those of you who are watching, thanks for dropping by. My name's Toby. I'm 40 years old and I'm training to live an active, self-sufficient and adventurous life. And if you want to just go ahead and drop by in the chat and say hi, that'd be wonderful if you're watching. I work on my health and fitness by minding how much I sleep, 7 to 9 hours a night. By minding my nutrition, I try to stay within my energy balance quite well and try to eat 120 to 150 grams of protein in a day from varying sources. And I do strength training with kettlebells. You can see them behind me. Pull-ups, push-ups as well. I do mobility training. And I do conditioning. I go for runs. Generally 1 45-minute run every week. I'm looking for a moment to add back in a 20-minute interval session of 1 minute of running and 1 minute of rest to work on that different element of mobility. So, and that I do every day. And you can follow me every day here on the channel. Korea, good morning. How are you doing? It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well where you are in the world today. And I hope that you're having a good and wonderful start of the day. And I believe you're an hour ahead of me, so you're an even earlier bird than I am. It is 5:41 a.m. where I am at today, friends. And we're just slowly cycling through some fun and easy mobility exercises. Of course. Decided to add a few more exercises that incorporate a windmill or a kettlebell to the routine. Since I feel I've regained some mobility in my shoulders and some strength over time. So you can do more of this. Again. This, by the way, is a hip hinging exercise. And a very pleasant one for a full body stretch. And it's a bit quiet on the chat today, but that's all good because it's early. You know, winter is here, the window's open, it is cold, and I completely understand why everyone would prefer to be inside where it's nice and cozy and warm under the blankets in bed, because that is the season. But here I am, dedicated to my own morning routine and slightly torturing myself in the morning by getting up. We're just going to do this one again because it feels so nice. That's how I like it quiet. I tend to get up earlier so I can afford to rest at the gym. Around 5, 6 seems to get busy. Oh wow, guys are, and when the streets are empty. Yeah, I love that. I was actually shocked when I was in Sweden a couple of years ago, and I was going around. To walking from my hotel to the office early in the morning, so I wanted to get an early start in because I was traveling anyway, and I'd done my morning exercises, and the gyms were packed between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. And I asked colleagues, I was like, is this normal here? Because, I don't know, maybe in Amsterdam and Rotterdam, right, like in the cities themselves, but where it's a bit quieter, where we live, aren't even open at that time. I said, yeah, usually people trying to get it in before the workout. It's part of the culture, part of general health and fitness. And to be very honest, now that we have kids, I need to be around for the morning routines, obviously. But before, the earlier I could get my workout in, definitely the better. Because it is just very enjoyable when it is quiet or when you have your own space and peace of mind. I mean, a gym is a shared social space, so there's pluses and minuses to that, don't get me wrong. But it's just nice to have that peace and quiet for your workout. And to also start and finish something with peace of mind. And here we are this morning. And for those of you who are watching and who are new to my channel, my name is Toby. I'm 40 years old, and I train to live an active, self-sufficient life. And I like to go out on adventures, not only now, in my 40s, but as I grow older and age. So if that's something you're interested in, I work out with kettlebells, I go for runs, I work on my mobility, strength, conditioning. Here on the channel we talk about health and fitness and life. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel if that's something you want to talk about more. It's also, I also enjoy going for a run early in the morning when it's quiet and peaceful. You can feel the world is resting as well, and I think it gives a different kind of vibe, energy to the run, indeed. And it's 5:49 a.m. A couple of more minutes to go. Been nicely, slowly waking up our body, stretching and moving through different exercises. And as we're doing that, checking in with ourselves. How are we today? How do we feel today? What are we up to physically? Where are we mentally? I was a bit stressed going in. I was a bit stressed when I got to the office yesterday. By the end of the day, after finishing off a couple of things that needed finishing, I was all good again. And I got Sunday reflecting on my week and my life. There are different emotions that we experience in different stages and phases of the day. I think we remain in control of our emotions and the emotional scape of our life. And our emotions don't govern us. And we experience a wide range of emotions throughout the day. We're good. Not a lot to worry about, to be concerned about at all. And sometimes being a bit stressed is a part of that emotional scape. What can I say? That's just the way it is. As long as it's not chronic stress throughout the day, the week, the month, the year, because that will start to take a toll on our health and fitness. So hey, if there's anything you want me to speak to or talk about, if you're on the chat or watching, you go ahead, let me know, and say hi on the chat, and I will answer your question, or we can have a conversation about health and fitness in our 40s. You let me know, all right? And we are going to move into our core exercises in a moment, working on that core stability. And by the way, if you're watching and you're expecting anything advanced or fancy, I am a big believer in the basics. So you just do the basics over and over again throughout life, and you build a good foundation for all of the other things that we might want to do. That doesn't only apply to health and fitness. It applies to relationships, applies to finances, it applies to work, that applies to my hobbies. Just taking it slow and easy, enjoying the process, mastering the basics, and practicing the basics over and over again. And then the basics become habits and routines. And once things are habits and routines, we don't even notice we're doing them, and we start to build different basics. And that builds up to a very rich and satisfying and fulfilling life. So, just some food for thought. Oh boy. All those joints, knees, elbows, wrists, ankles. As you know, one of the bigger limiting factors in our squat depth is also our ankle mobility, right? Because everything moves in a chain. So just worth thinking about that. Oh. And it's always nice to be able to do. Different kinds of kettlebell exercises. let's start with McGill's Big Three, and then from there we're going to move on to some kettlebell core exercises, just starting with the basics of holding that brace, breathing behind the shield. To a side plank. To which, if you want, you can start to add all kinds of interesting exercises. But I don't feel like doing that today. But with a strong core, you're able to do all those kinds of things. Right? That adds to the intensity of the exercise. But already being able to stand like this, or on your knees, starfish, if that is what you can do. We all need to start somewhere and build up over time. And moving into bird dog. And the position here, you should squeeze your glutes, feel it in your core, squeeze that fist, and really feel that tension in that brace. This is not some sort of a relaxing pose. It's supposed to be a bit intense. And just keep breathing. And on to the other side. All right. Now, poor man's gym. Hey, poor man's gym. What's up with you? I'm seeing some good workouts on your channel. Thanks for dropping by and saying hi. I appreciate that. I'm doing all right. We're just cycling this kettlebell. Now, working on keeping our core straight as we pass it along. What's the day got in store for you, buddy? I hope it's promising to be a good day. Here It is Tuesday, and Tuesday is the day before I travel. So I have a lot to do today, including packing a suitcase and trying to figure out how I'm going to transport my sports gear and streaming gear on a business trip so that we can keep streaming and the morning routine continue to talk to all of you. So that's something definitely looking into as well today. Oh, boy, yeah. I'd go around the world a little bit with a kettlebell. Your bell is working well. Hey, that's good news. I'm happy to hear that. Also, you put a lot of effort into it. So, it's nice to then be able to enjoy how well it's working for you, right? There we go. That's too much effort, really. Wait. I even painted it now. That's cool. Where's everybody say? Too quiet for comfort. I'm going to change for sports. Smart. Where is everybody say? I think it's got something to do with the elections and generally people in the States tuning in to watch, which would be my guess. But that is just a guess, not grounded in any fact. We're going to work on grip strength also. So just holding the kettlebell in the weighter carry, pushing it up overhead for about 30 seconds, and trying to hold it there. And then we're going to do that on the other side as well. Chief Queef. Way to pick up the heaviest one. Yeah, I'd like to see anyone try. I think some real kettlebell master instructors probably can do that. I can definitely not do that with a bigger and a heavier kettlebell. That's why it's called working and training my grip strength. And thanks for dropping by and saying hi. I hope you're well where you are in the world. Hoppa. And back to the other one again. But it is a quiet morning. It's also 6:05, so we've been at this for long enough. And we're going to call it a day soon. and move on with the rest of the day. Because that also needs to happen, sadly. Like I always say, there are 23 other hours in the day that I'm not live streaming, but where health and fitness is as important, and specifically actually where I'm reaping some of the benefits of having this morning routine in place. And sometimes 45 seconds is a very long time, isn't it? The trick is, with the waiter walk, to find the nice and comfortable position for the kettlebell on the palm in the grip, and to just try to squeeze your fingers for 45 seconds or a minute. We live and learn. You can also look up at it. It adds a bit. At this point it's light enough for me to be able to hold it up without worrying about it too much, but still heavy enough for it to be a challenge. There we go. All right, let's do a weighted walk in place. And the last exercise for the day. It's everyone's favorite. First we're going to drag the weight around for about 30 seconds. And then we're going to lift your foot. Last one, and then we're done. There we go, friends. That was the morning mobility and core with the kettlebell this morning. That's it. That's all I have. Good work, Toby. Do some of these movements. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you again on your next stream. Foreman's Gym, take care. And have a good evening and day. Here's my glass of water, friends. It's the end of the workout. And like I said, I'm now trying to consciously build the habit with you of having that glass of water at the end of the workout. As we go through the 7-day challenge. Enjoy the rest of your day. Korea, you too. Have a great rest of the day. See you tomorrow or at the next stream. Take care, be well. Like I say, friends, my name is Toby. I'm 40 years old. I'm training to live an active, self-sufficient and adventurous life at 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I do that by minding my sleep, 7 to 9 hours, my nutrition, strength training, conditioning training, and mobility. And this is all about the way I feel, not about the way I look. So that's something you're interested in. And have a conversation on the chat, or if you subscribe to my channel under any of my videos, any day of the week. I'm here every day with my morning routine. If you want to join me, go ahead, subscribe, and we can continue this conversation. I would love to have the conversation about health and fitness and what it takes to actually build healthy habits and a consistent routine by sharing what has worked for me so that you can figure out what works for you, and maybe it won't take you 20 years to figure it out, but you can do it a bit faster and get even more out of a happy, healthy, long life. And this week, as a week, the first week of November, heading into 2025, where people start to make New Year's resolutions, I'm challenging myself to develop the new habit of having 1 extra glass of water every day, and through that challenge actually learning how hard it is to add something new to my daily routine, but also to understand how the structures of my life work against me in trying to adopt and change little things in my life. And all of those lessons hopefully will pay off in 2025 when we try to make some bigger changes to our general health and fitness. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and join me. The rules are very simple. Have an extra glass of water at a fixed time for 7 days in a row. That being said, friends, I just want to say we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. And I say that because sometimes we're a bit too hard on ourselves and we forget that it's the person we are today who's going to get us to where we want to be tomorrow. So a bit of kindness will go a long way. And the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. So to everyone on the chat, thanks for dropping by, saying hi, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow on my next stream. Take care.